welcome to God Stories Radio. This is Session 9. I'm Fritz.
I'm Mike.
And we are in the kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen tonight. We've got myself and Mike and a special guest with us. We've got Shelia with us tonight. Over the next few weeks, we've got several women that are going to be in the kitchen.
Already lined up.
And we're just fired up about it because we're not, we never set out to be solely just a men's
No, we didn't.
ministry, but I'm going to get on my daughter's case tonight because she usually knows that we do the program on Tuesday nights, and I have in my lap a 8-week-old female Chihuahua, and she's being very good at this point. I'd much rather have my daughter watching her, but I may have to put her picture on the website so you guys can see what Bitsy looks like. But she's been a blessing. My daughter needed a companion, a lap baby. I'm going to miss her this week. She actually goes to Camp Boggy Creek, and they have different segments, and then she goes during the kidney asthma week. They have doctors out there. They do her dialysis out there, and she has a ball. They ride horses. They camp out. They do just about anything that a regular child would do, but just under supervision. And, man, she cannot wait to go.
I'm sure she can't.
It's probably the only week that she's out of my supervision that I don't worry about her. How was your week, Mike?
It's been a challenging week. Work has changed my schedule. God had me move from one place to another, so it's a few new things that are going on that I've been bringing to God on a daily basis on why is this, why is that, and trying to and I shouldn't be, but trying to figure things out or ask him why these things are, what am I looking for? What am I'm supposed to see? What am I supposed to hear from this? So,
I know the Lord's been shutting some doors in your life recently.
He has.
And anything new opened, or you just kind of in the transition phase?
I think something is on the horizon. As you had said to me about a year or so ago, strap yourself in. Your ride is about ready to take off. It could be the time, because someone did say that to me Sunday in the lobby, almost those same words. So
the Lord did tell me I get to see it.
All right,
I'm just as fired up as you are. I got a front row seat for
Let's
that,
go.
baby. Anyway, enough about us. We have a special guest in the kitchen tonight. We have Shelia Quinn with us tonight. Shelia, how are you?
I'm fine.
We have wrangled her, strapped her to the chair with duct tape, and she has committed to give her testimony tonight. So we're going to let her talk a little bit and kind of give us a testimonial about where she's come from. And I think it's going to bless you.
Okay.
Shelia, take it away.
Okay. Speaking of Boggy Creek, I grew up in Kissimmee. I had a good childhood. We didn't attend church regularly, but we did go periodically to church. But my childhood was good. High school was great. Right out of high school, I married my first husband. And I didn't realize he was 9 years older than I was. I realized that, but he had a bad temper and a drinking problem. So our marriage lasted less than a year. He has since passed away from cancer. I found out just recently.
Cancer's no respecter of persons, is it?
It is not. It's not.
No. After that, I stayed single for about 4 years. I wouldn't have anything to do with any guy except my dad and my brother. Talking with them, that was it. I didn't want to see a guy or nothing. So then I met this other guy, and we had like a whirlwind romance. 30 days we were married.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done it that fast. But pretty fast.
Yeah, it was quick. He wanted to move in together, and my dad said no. If you love her enough to move in with her, then you should love her enough to marry her.
Good for him.
And do it the right way. So...
Old school.
Yep. My parents are very old school. So we got married. Marriage lasted 25 years, almost.
Wow.
A long time. I have 2 grown sons. I have a grandchild. One son is 24 and one's 26. The marriage, I didn't realize that the marriage was in trouble. I didn't realize that there was a problem. I had had double knee replacement surgery in December of 2007. I was laying in a rehab center in Winter Garden for 6 weeks, 2 blocks from my house. My ex-husband walks in and says, I want a divorce. I couldn't even walk. I had to learn to walk again because both knees had been done at the same time.
And this was during your hospital stay?
Yes.
That he did this?
Yes. Walked right in and said, I want a divorce.
Nice.
What a great guy.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out. He didn't spend Christmas with me. He said he had to work. And he has a managerial position, so I took him at his word. He had to work. New Year's Day or New Year's Eve wasn't there. My oldest son actually spent more time with me in the hospital and at the rehab center than my ex-husband did. He just kept saying it was work, and I don't know if it's naive or just trusting in the person you love, what they're
Probably
saying.
both.
I think more the second one, though.
Yeah,
the trusting.
me too. Yeah, trust.
Yeah.
Because I was the same way.
Yeah, I trusted him with my life, and he crushed it. When I got out of rehab, I came home. I was in a wheelchair. I bumped the desk in the front room. He had left the desktop computer on, and the screen had went black, so I guess he assumed he had turned it off. Up pops a email from this girl he was seeing about how they toasted in the new year, couldn't wait to be together, etc., etc. Counting back, there were like 65 emails altogether. My oldest son now holds a computer science bachelor's degree. He immediately shut down the internet. My youngest son was at the University of Florida, so he was sort of away from everything when it happened. My oldest son lived through it. He lost a year of college because he was flunking classes. He was worried about me. He wanted to be there for me. I fell apart. I cried all the time. I didn't know what to do. My ex says to me, we were paying for our son's apartment in Gainesville. And he said, here's his proposal to me. Why don't we just stay together, and I'll leave on Friday afternoon, and I'll be gone Friday afternoon after work, Saturday and Sunday to see her up in Lady Lake, and then I'll be home Monday through Thursday. Well,
This was a proposal?
Yeah, this was a proposal. This is what he wanted to do for 4 years or 5 years, because our son was going to work on a PhD also. He wanted to do this. I wanted to keep the family together, so I tried it for 2 weeks. I couldn't do it. So I told him that I couldn't do it and that I was going to see a lawyer. And he said, well, we can work this out. Let's, sit down and draw up our own, separation agreement. And I looked at him and said, you draw it up. I'm going in my bedroom, and when you get done, hand it to me. I'll look at it, and if I like it, fine, and if I don't, fine. So that's what we did. The lawyer drew up a 30-page separation agreement. We were only going to stay separated because I have medical issues with my back and stuff, and that way I could stay on his insurance. He said he was never going to marry again, so it didn't matter. So we were separated for 4 years. He dropped me off his medical insurance 2 years into the separation. My dad had the lawyer put in there that if he dropped me off medical, he had to carry me under COBRA for 3 years. So he has carried me under COBRA for 3 years. Of course, pays alimony. And he also has to pay $3,000 a year for my medical prescriptions and copays and expenses.
Well, I think that's only fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
There's times that I thought I'd give all that up just to have my family back. It destroyed my family. Not just me, but my kids. My kids didn't speak to him for a year and a half. He has since married the girl that he left me for, which, come to find out, was a girl that he dated before me. Yeah, he met her on Facebook. So the internet killed my marriage.
Good old FB.
You don't want to get me started about that, brother.
Yeah, they say 69% of marriages end because of the internet nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I seen the other day in the news.
Yeah. And we talked about on the last podcast that I found out there was a 50% divorce rate within the church.
It's ridiculous. It's really bad. It's like a plague or something going through. I don't know what's going on. He was out of the house by February 1st of 2008. He wanted to keep doing his thing. He was getting on his motorcycle to leave. I know I had the separation agreement in my hand, and I wanted it signed now. And he said no. He says, I'm leaving. And I think he was going to take it to her and have her look at it because she had a degree in something or other. And I said, no, you're not going. I said, we're still married. That's half my motorcycle. That's my saddlebag on one side. That's my helmet. And I started taking the stuff. Of course, there was some names exchanged from him. And I said, if you want this stuff and you want to be, quote, separated, then I suggest that you come with me to a notary and you sign the separation agreement right now.
Well, good for you, and at least for standing up for yourself amongst the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we went to the bank that we banked with, and he signed it and had it notarized. Luckily, the bank was only about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away, because he called me everything and some things I'd never even heard all the way there and back. He got out, got his motorcycle, left, and took off to Lady Lake. Comes back Sunday night. He walks in the house. Hi, how you doing? How's it going? Like nothing's even happening. And I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. So he left for work Monday, and I changed the locks on the house and the garage door. He come home, and my mom was there then because she was afraid of what he might do. He come home, and he couldn't get in the house. So he knocks on the door, and I go to the door, and I said, can I help you? And he said, yeah, my key's not working the door. I said, that's because you don't live here anymore. I suggest you go get a U-Haul truck and get what you are allowed to take by the separation agreement and get out of here. So there were, during that time I was really strong. But then after he left, it hit me and I fell apart. I got really depressed. I moved like 6 times in 2 years. Did most of the moving by myself with a torn rotator cuff.
Now, the moving, was it because of trying to be one step ahead, or just you had to?
Trying to find a place that felt like home.
Okay.
The house that we had, we lived in for 18 years. My kids grew up there. That was my home. When we bought it, we were going to die there. He said, I'll be carried out of here in a pine box. Well, he was carried out of there by a U-Haul.
Same thing.
yeah, pretty close.
That's what they're built out of.
Yeah, so I was trying to find a place that felt like home. Nothing felt like home. Everywhere I was at, nothing felt like home. And when I was living at the Vistas at Lost Lake, which is behind Real Life, I hit rock bottom really bad. I thought that, I kept asking God, why did this happen to me? What have I done to deserve this? And it's like he wasn't listening to me. So I thought about ending it. Just giving up.
Been there.
It is amazing that her story ends up there.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of folks that we've had on the program seem to have a similar, where they've been there.
Yeah,
they've contemplated.
You just have no hope.
Mm-hmm.
You lose hope.
Right.
You lose faith. I lost everything. Not just my family. I lost my future. Divorce